I have the pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down.
Good afternoon, Mohawks. It is Friday, January 13th, and today we are celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a little early as we do not have school on Monday due to this historic day. Each year on the third Monday in January, we celebrate his birthday. Martin Luther King Jr. was a Baptist minister and social activist who played a key role in the American Civil Rights Movement from the mid-1950s until his assassination in 1968.
On October 14, 1964, King received the Nobel Peace Prize for combating racial inequality through nonviolence. In 1965, he helped to organize the Selma to Montgomery marches, and the following year he took the movement north to work on segregated housing. In 1968, King was planning a national campaign in Washington when he was assassinated on April 4th, but his dream of equality lives on, and we celebrate his life and work each year in January.
So when you're off school on Monday enjoying your freedom, remember to think about the man who dedicated his life to making this country free for everyone.
And now on to our announcements.
Any students interested in working on a VPA crew for this year's production of High School Musical should plan to attend an informational meeting on Friday, January 20th from 2:30 to 3:15 p.m. in the auditorium. We have lots of crew positions to fill, from spotlight operators to painters to set builders to hair and makeup artists. Come and check it out. Now here's a special Friday treat for you. It's now time for life lessons in the lab with Laurence.
Hello, scientists. It's good to see you today. Welcome to the sanctuary that is Life Lessons with Laurence in the Lab. Today we have a very relatable story as our 7th graders are doing frog dissections. So I want you to sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy a froggy-filled story. 3 young frogs were out one day exploring their environment. They came to a barn and entered to investigate. There was a bucket, and they were curious as to what was inside. So 2 of them just jumped right in. Splash! The third, being the cautious one, only jumped to the rim of the bucket. He looked down in horror at his 2 friends who struggled to jump out of a white substance. None of them realized it was actually milk. After some failed attempts, the one shouted down to the others, "You'll never make it. Face facts and prepare to die." But since self-preservation is the first rule of life for both humans and animals, they continued to struggle for as long as possible. The frog on top continued to shout down, "You'll never make it! Give up and die peacefully!" Unfortunately, one of the 2 struggling frogs could not continue and disappeared below the surface, never to be seen again. The one remaining continued despite the discouragement of his comrade on the top of the bucket. After a short while, his feet had a soft yellow substance to stand on. He had made butter out of the cream on top of the milk. Soon, he had enough for a foothold to position himself and jump right out of the bucket. When he had joined his friend, he thanked him for all the encouragement he had shouted down to him. He was deaf, you see, and he thought that his friend was cheering him on. He would never have made it without the cheering, no matter how negative it might have been. See, students, this story teaches us to take negative comments that people give and turn them into positive motivation. In the end, the frog struggling at the bottom of the bucket used the negative energy to win and churn the milk into butter. He pushed until he had created butter and was able to get out of the bucket. This is a special thank you to Mr. Leppeholt for this story and all staff and student here at WASH. They give us the energy we need to churn our own butter. Have a wonderful and productive week, WASH.
Thanks, Mrs. Lawrence, and congratulations to the following Mohawks who won our weekly values drawing. Tony Jackson,
Nate Powers,
Abigail Klapatowskis,
Jadek Gooch,
Brooke Keeley,
and Izzy Murda. Remember, Martin Luther King Day is on Monday. That means there is no school.
Birthday wishes go out to Andrew Crow, Jackson Mulgrew, Dennis Pointfowski, Josh Wu. Celebrating on Saturday are Dustin Fote, Addie Olson, and Taylor Starkey. And on Sunday, Abigail Coates, Isabella Garcia, and Michaelin Jasper. Then finally on Monday, Carter Davis, Debbie Dremel, Gavin Guns, and Riley Sampson. Happy birthday to all.
Now on to the thought of the day, which is from Martin Luther King himself. The time is always right to do what is right.
Have a historic day, Wash.
As the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation, five score years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation.